Part 3 of episode 79 left viewers in shock and confusion. At the Speakerman base, the surviving squad, who barely managed to teleport, was met by a living and unharmed Camerawoman. This completely contradicts what we saw with our own eyes in the previous part of the episode, because we remember how she was caught in the red glow of the Watchman of Doom and tragically died. The POV agent, not believing his eyes, says he has a recording of her death. So how is this possible, and what really happened? In the fan community, there are several versions, but one of them has become widely known. It seems the most convincing and, at the same time, frightening. It says that we witnessed not a miracle, but a clever substitution operation. This theory suggests the darkest, but also the most logical explanation. The real Camerawoman is indeed dead, and the one we see at the Speakerman base is an imposter. Most likely, she was replaced by one of the representatives of the mysterious race of computers, who took on her form for a deep and stealthy infiltration into the ranks of the Alliance. At first glance, this sounds incredible, but this version is supported by many facts that we have observed throughout the entire plot. Let's move on to the evidence. The first thing that comes to mind is the Computermen's ability to morph. We already know that the Secret Agents faction has technology beyond the Alliance's understanding. Their agents cannot just become invisible, like the Cameraman twins did, but supposedly they can also take the form of various objects. The clearest example is the mysterious office chair, which appeared on the battlefield for many episodes, followed the heroes, and watched the agents, leaving behind a green glow. Later, it turned out that this was the same mysterious female agent from the Computerman race who demonstrated the ability to morph, to transform into other objects. If she can become a chair, then logically, taking the form of Camerawoman is not difficult for her either. The second argument for this theory is that the Computermen have already shown they can preserve the personalities of fallen agents. The most striking example is the tragic death of Plungerman. After he mysteriously died, we saw one of the Cameraman twins give Secret Agent a diskette. It seems this diskette contained the copied personality or memory card of the fallen hero. This proves that they have the technology to extract and store the consciousness of agents. But this is not the key clue. The key clue is in the scene where Camerawoman blows her own head off. For a split second, literally for one intermediate frame, a barely visible silhouette appears. This figure reaches out its hand to her head at the very last moment. Who was it, and what was it doing? Most likely, this character was extracting her head diskette, her consciousness, just as was done with Plungerman. Her physical body died, but her personality was saved. But why do the Computermen need this? The answer is simple. They need a new undercover agent. Their previous spy, Lucky Cameraman, was exposed and arrested by the detective Cameraman, who suspected something. Losing their agent, the secret agent lost his eyes and ears inside the Alliance. Now, by replacing Camerawoman, they can not just infiltrate the Alliance, but literally lead a part of it. According to their plan, it makes sense that no one would suspect a heroine who miraculously returned from the dead. Thus, this theory forms a coherent and logical chain. The Computermen waited for the right moment, extracted the consciousness of a key Alliance agent, and then replaced her with their imposter, who is capable of morphing to gain the Alliance's trust. But this is not the only theory. Another, more superficial theory claims that Camerawoman never actually died, and the whole scene of her death was a setup, a hologram, staged for some purpose. However, this version falls apart at the very first critical question: why and for what purpose this theater? Why was it necessary to stage this performance? To deceive the Astro toilets? Let's be honest. Camerawoman, for all her bravery, is no more than a dust particle to the Astro, a rank-and-file agent. She does not pose the same threat to them as the Titans, and they were not specifically hunting her, so there was no need for such a complex operation to protect her. Most importantly, other cameramen also died in that scene, caught in the red glow. Sacrificing real soldiers for a setup with a completely unclear purpose is tactically absurd and cruel for the cameramen, who are not known for their cold-bloodedness. Comparing both versions, the theory of substitution looks much more reasonable and logical. It not only explains the resurrection, but also deepens the storyline of the Computermen as a hidden force manipulating events. Most likely, the real Camerawoman is indeed dead, her body destroyed, and her consciousness is in the hands of the secret woman. It's likely that this woman is the one we see now instead of Camerawoman. This puts the Alliance in a terrible position. Their morale is boosted by false hope, and a spy with unknown intentions is now hidden in their very heart, under the mask of a resurrected hero. But it seems the computerman's plan has already started to fall apart. As we remember, the detective took the recording of Camerawoman's death from the agent witness. And if nothing happens to the detective and he really sees all this evidence, it will be very interesting to see how the fate of the imposter unfolds and whether she will reveal the truth to the Alliance. Write your theories on this in the comments. I would be really interested to read them. And by the way, be sure to buy the Skibbity toilet merch. All the links for it are in the description of this video.